You did say we'd give it a moment, and then you did not give it a moment.
Well, because I saw you up in
we're already
space, and I
here.
assumed,
Yeah.
I assumed you were connected. So, yeah, here we go.
What is this as a big slap in the face? They just set it up so that it just like killed you on landing for if
You
you're
just
on a Linux
flew
computer.
through the planet and just kept going. It's like, okay, so you haven't even done the tutorial for this, I assume?
I've done part of the tutorial.
Okay, I can more or less walk you through it. This game is actually really, really simple in terms of like base usability.
I was getting that immediately. I was at the point where I'd been placing some tethers and harvesting some resources.
Oh yeah, then you're good.
Actually, the important first thing for me is whether or not I can reduce the sensitivity for this mouse scroll when I right-click.
Oh, is it like way too high?
Yeah, I can figure it out, I'm sure. Camera orbit sensitivity just needs to go.
Yep.
Oh gosh, that goes so much higher.
So how do you like spinning?
It was just a little bit jarring. Maybe if this was like Counter-Strike or something like that, that's much better. It's funny that the camera sensitivity, I think it was an 11 out of like 50 or something like that.
I definitely remember the occasional time where I could convince everybody to crank their sensitivity to max while playing Counter-Strike, and it was always hilarious. Oh man, that'd actually be really fun.
Doing some Counter-Strike
or just like a competitive shooter, but with like extreme handicaps, like max sensitivity.
I love it.
Or minimum
competitive
sensitivity.
Shooter with one team is max and one team is min, depending if you're terrorist or counter-terrorist, and then you have to like switch afterwards, like they do in the tournaments.
Oh,
or we could
would be...
we could do a left-handed StarCraft tournament.
Oh, yeah, that might be. There are some people I know with advantages. Probably you-ish.
Yeah, I did one time play left-handed as a disadvantage, and it definitely was harder. But I also like did win against two people in a 2v1. But for anyone who's listening and thinking I'm actually really good at StarCraft, I was like not that good. So don't.
You were
don't think
better
anything.
than everybody else. That was the real thing.
Better than my friends in high school.
I know, like that one time I came back after playing a bunch of League of Legends and being really good at it, and then going back to college and then coming back again, and everybody else had been playing obsessively, and I'm like, well, never mind. This was short-lived.
Yeah, well, part of that was several of us had played a lot of Dota, so really we just needed to know what the heroes did.
Yeah.
And once we had that, it wasn't going to take that long from there. How do I convert material into stuff? Do I have to I have to go into the crafting thing to like anything on this?
So click on your backpack and you'll have a little crafting menu at the bottom.
Yeah, but I see a lot of things are like required copper or whatnot. Is there a way to make it go directly to the things I actually have?
If you just switch until it's the thing that you want, like if you want to make a tether bundle, it'll just automatically pull the resources, if that's what you're asking.
Oh, I was just wondering what I could make with organic matter. And
that's just fuel.
Oh, that's just fuel.
Yeah, so you just use organic matter to here. Can I make a generator? I think I can make a generator.
Mostly, I just have a bunch sticking out of the end of this gun, and I'm like...
If it's sticking out the back, that means it's not actually complete. So
I have to get more. Oh, yeah, that's how that works. Okay.
It'll just hold partials. Which actually isn't so bad.
Yeah. Cool.
I tend to avoid collecting too much organic just because it's limited in its usefulness.
I figured that. I mostly just sucked up a little bit because I wasn't sure if it was anything.
Yeah. So the resources we're mostly looking for are resin, compounds, which is what I'm currently grabbing. Resin is probably more immediately useful, but this is handy, so I'm grabbing it. Compound is used for like a number of the... Whoops.
But can I dig you?
Yes, you absolutely could dig me into the planet, and it would be a bit of a pain getting me back out. Finding your corpse in this game is actually legit hard.
because do you drop items on death?
Yeah, so it's not like as punishing as some games where it's just all gone, but it's very much like you have to go back and find your backpack and reloot your stuff. I don't know if your backpack ever despawns, but...
Is it easy to dig yourself into a hole you can't easily climb out of as well, then?
Sort of. All you really have to do is just dig like a proper ramp up, but this game has some fairly heavy physics, so you have to do tricks to get out. Eventually, you get the ability to like make smoother slopes and some other things, which isn't so bad. But that takes a little bit of time. Alright, let's make a large printer. We gotta find some resin.
Resin.
Yeah.
Will it just be lying on the ground somewhere?
Yeah, so kind of like the compound, it should be sticking out of the ground. It looks like corn.
Corn, eh?
Yeah.
And if I have like a partial thing harvested, is it like no real loss? Because if I start harvesting something else, it just immediately loses that, right?
Yeah, so you won't lose it. It'll just come back the moment. So if you want to try like harvesting some organic and then switch to the compound and then back, you won't lose a dang thing.
What about this research item I just found? Should I bring it back to base?
Yes. We can't do anything with it yet, but eventually we will be able to.
Okay.
Wait. I made a small generator, but it disappeared? Wait,
I like how he can barely walk with this thing, but he can do a full jump with it.
Yep.
Alright.
I'm so confused.
Okay. That's there.
Aw.
Alright, looking for
This is
cord.
bugging out already. That's a good sign.
Do you think it's just the new updates, or?
I don't know, but I'm trying to make a small generator and it ain't working. It's under the... Oh, it's under the organic. Oh, I see what's happening here. That's... Okay, never mind. It's not bugging out. It's visually confusing. Effectively, I had organic in my backpack, and every time I made a small generator, it would just place the organic underneath the generator, and that was not the easiest thing to see. Okay.
Oh. It's like an alien that looks a little bit like a bunch of red hot chili peppers here.
Most things are not dangerous in this game. Watch out for the clouds, and there's certain things that explode, unless they added something new.
I'm not sure. Something just kind of hit me and knocked me back a little bit. It may have not been damaging.
Yeah, you don't have that much health, but most things don't hurt you. So most of the time, it's either just like you're totally fine or instant death, at which point there's not much you could have done apart from like avoid the thing in the beginning. It's been a year and a half since I last played, so I'm not exactly going to be a full expert on like everything, but you figured it out pretty quick.
And is it compound that I need for tether?
Yeah. Yeah, so the white bubbly stuff is for tether. And resin, the corn-looking things, are what we need to make platforms to expand our base.
Will things like do that thing where they'll show up once I get close to them, or I guess a little bit? Wondering how far I have to go to find compound.
Might depend on your draw distance.
Yeah, I draw distance. That was the thing I was thinking of.
Because yeah, I've got the draw distance. I got my draw distance way out, but my computer is fairly hefty. I guess 50% of that is thanks to you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I could have kept it, right?
You could have. I would have just bought it for myself, but I was like, hey, discount.
Yeah. No, I really didn't need it for what I'm doing. Whenever we need that sort of stuff right now, it's the company just buys it, so it's not really me paying for it and I don't need it for my personal use most of the time, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think I will ever suggest us playing particularly hefty games.
Well, you know, if it runs on Linux, my desktop is actually pretty decent. I mean, even though it's 5 years old at this point, it's not like the state of the art now, but it's not too far from it when I got it.
Oh wow. We've got a warp point already.
What is a warp point?
So if you look into the sky, out in my direction,
Can I? How do I know which direction you are? Do you show up on a
if you look
map?
if you look into the sky, there should be like a white line leading upwards towards an astronaut symbol.
I see a white line pointing upwards towards our home.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe it's not picking me up. It's possible. Wow, there's a lot of just debris all over the place here.
Oh, yeah, so I have debris, and it says salvage. Do we do something with it?
Yeah, so if you press tab, that brings up the research menu. Unfortunately, we can do nothing with it until we get an actual research machine.
Should I just make a pile of it near our base?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
From past experiences, that slowly lags the game out, but between the two of us, I think we should be fine. The other thing is just they've been working on the netcode to make it better.
Okay. Now, that's interesting to me that it would lag the game out just because we went and collected a resource that the game remembers. Is that because the game just has some, like, very compact way of storing information about the object until we bring it into our base, and then it, like, has to treat it as, like, a 3D model?
Yeah, then it's a static object. I think it's because normally when they're just loose, it has to kind of determine physics.
Yeah, okay. No, I see how that could be a thing.
Okay, making research chamber.
So some of this salvage I can't pick up. It's too big,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So eventually we'll be able to run a shredder over it and grab resources out of it.
Another
Remember
news.
what's
I
required
have
for it.
some clay, I guess, and 2 research samples.
Yeah, if you want to slowly bring them back, it's going to take us a while before we can actually do the research samples. Like I was saying, you probably want to press tab. And take a look at the research menu. Specifically, we're going to want a lot of solar and wind energy and batteries if we can get it. Unfortunately, that's going to cost cumulatively 3,000 bytes. But once we can get those 3, then we can power a bunch of research things and just start sciencing really hard.
And researching will get us stuff like the automation.
Yeah. So, have you pressed tab yet?
I have, yeah.
Okay, so on the left side are all the things from the tier that you can research, and then there's 4 tiers, like the small stuff, medium, large, and then huge or whatever. I don't know if there's actually like a word for any of these things. It's just kind of an esoteric symbol. All right, I might as well actually fill up with organic while I'm here.
Did you say that you had found resin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can show you what it looks like.
No, I found it. I was just
Okay,
wondering
good.
if you needed it or not.
We will always need a fair bit of resin, mainly because resin is one of the, it's one of the primary, it's one of the primary resources that we use, to make platforms to expand our base, and so it's going to be rare that you don't,
Does this game feature renewability of the resources?
No.
I see. So we will slowly extract all of the goodness out of this planet.
Yes. I think the base... there's a little bit of lore in this game, but as far as I can tell, it's the usual, like, pseudo-dystopic future where everybody is effectively a corporate slave and, you know, has to dedicate their lives to furthering company goals instead.
Will it tell me once I'm like full of stuff? It'll just start dropping on the ground.
Yeah, you'll just start exploding resources out of the back. It looks
see.
pretty silly.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm right at the cusp of that, but oh, but I see there's like a few things around the side of it. So once my inventory gets full, I can probably keep going a little bit more.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you have a couple of things that you can do.
I mean, personally, I like the thought that we're like the cravers under this armor from endless space.
Oh, man.
That's what's going on right now in my mind. I mean, there's no one to fight yet, but... Oh, and there one goes. Things won't despawn if I just dump them on the ground near our base.
They will. They
Okay.
will persist.
Let's see. Did you ever play as the Cravers? And probably for anyone who hasn't played Endless Space, the Cravers do exactly what we're doing right now, which is harvest things for their resource in a non-renewable fashion. But it's kind of unique in 4X games in that, like, that's represented in a game mechanic by your planet will become out of resources and will start, like, producing a lot less after you've had it for a certain number of game turns. So you have, like, a strong push to keep expanding outwards. And, yeah, there's something really, like...
It's compelling.
Human. Yeah, so something very much like a possible human future in what each of the alien species that they have.
Speaking of, actually, their next game is on its way. I think it'll be out sometime next year. And it's very much like it's Civilization, but with their own spin on it. And that actually ended up being really cool. From what I experienced. Oh, you're right here. I just noticed the digging tool. If you want to put the digging tool away, by the way, just press E. Yeah.
Yeah. But then I've got all these resources and stuff. Where do I put them?
So eventually we'll be able to make storage things. But right now I'm just going with a haphazard horror base. And eventually we will have a better thing. So you could dump them on the ground. It's generally acceptable to make a trash pit. From my experience.
Why are storage bins such a late thing to obtain in a game?
It's not that late. I mean, we can get it sooner than later if you wanted to. Let's see what we require for a storage container.
I'm not that fuss over it. I just find it amusing.
Actually, we can make a storage container right now.
Okay.
I just don't know where. See if you can make a small printer. That might be it. Small printer requires some compound, which I am out of.
I have one compound.
Try and make the... What the heck is this thing? Oh, it's a research sample. Oh, these small research samples, by the way, you can actually just hand scan.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I think they might be worth more research, but my research thing is going to be running constantly. Medium storage. There we go.
Let's see. I was looking for tether bundles, which also require compound. Compound shouldn't be hard to find, right?
Yeah.
Gotta be somewhere around
Yeah, we
here.
just have to run around looking for it.
Is it like Terraria in that you can just like dig a bunch and you'll start running into good juicy stuff, or is it pretty much all surface level?
Resin, compound, and clay tend to be on the surface. If you want stuff like copper or zinc, or I'm forgetting some of the other ones. Copper, zinc, and stuff takes a little bit more. Quartz. There we go. That's another thing that's one layer down.
Okay. Well, I found some resin, so that's neat.
Okay.
And I better go back to base before I die. Oh wait, I just had the classic problem of where is base?
You should be able to look up into the sky.
I am totally gonna die before I get to it anyways. I don't think it's showing it when I'm... Or do you die immediately? Oh no, it says suffocating, so you've got a little bit of time. I made it. Hooray. All right. How do I take things off of this gun? Oh, I see. I could just click on it when I'm in inventory. Cool.
Yep. It's a little funky looking, but it's a nice system.
Okay, did you make... Is this a storage thing?
Yep.
I see. So I should just dump some things on it.
Yep. Ooh.
Wait, does it only store 8 things?
Yeah, it does. The small printer that you're right next to, for 2 resin, you can... Like 1 or 2 resin, you can make more constantly.
But it's still not more space efficient than a resource pile, right? It's just
correct.
a little more organized.
So what you can do with one of those things is you can actually have them automatically feed into like a printer, for example, once we have the bigger platforms.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's not just more organized, but it also has the nice thing of allowing for the automation as part of it. That makes sense. All right, now I can make some tethers. I will be living life less on the edge for the next few minutes, I think.
Ugh. Our power situation is very weak. I'm just gonna keep strip mining the immediate environment.
Does biological stuff, does your fuel grow back?
Not that I know of, no. I mean, eventually
so
we're gonna want to flatten the entire area around our base anyway, so, like, this is kind of justified.
So, but it's, like, real grim then.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming, like, it would grow back, but you're not really supposed to play this game for that long.
But does it grow back? I feel
No,
like,
I don't think so.
Yeah. I feel like if the answer is theoretically it should, but like it doesn't. Well, there's a lot of resin here. I mean, yeah, you know, personally, in many ways, I'm comfortable with the idea of the game doesn't have renewable resources just because that's a pain to implement.
Yeah.
But you know, I thought it was interesting how Factorio like didn't really have that. Like that wasn't a huge part of what Factorio was, but then we were playing a game that was like mods that do allow you to do that.
Yeah, I had a lot of friends that have talked about Factorio and how the thing that bothers them with it is just the lack of renewability becomes a chore instead of something compelling.
Ooh, that's a good point. The way that like it needs to allow it to become automated still. Right, and like the process of rebuilding your automation in a new location where you can get new coal or iron or whatnot is not an interesting way to spend your time.
Whereas Satisfactory, which I don't... Yeah, we haven't played that one yet. That one has...
Yeah.
That one has fairly... like, all the resources are entirely renewable, I think. I think even, like, grasses and plants and some other stuff will.
Okay.
Also, those chili pepper things that you were talking about were not aliens. They're research specimens.
I see. But they seem to, like, do something to me when I got close. It seemed like it bumped me backwards, and I guess I didn't know what my health was. You know, maybe I just was being silly and new at the game, though, so...
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably right. Everything is terrifying and unknown.
Oh, there are excavators in this game that might not immediately destroy resources. Gotcha.
Okay. That's good to know. Is that like a way that we could excavate off of like some deposit or something and it'll keep doing it forever?
I guess so. It's a new, like, that's very much a new thing. Whoa, that's a giant pit. Huh. I can't see you. I guess because you're underground, but I can see your cursor moving around.
Oh, that's weird. Are you anywhere close to me?
Nope. It's like way off in the
gathering...
distance, and I just see you mining.
Interesting. I'm getting all of the compound we could ever want. Just
That's
kidding.
Good.
probably this is a lot of compound, but I'm sure we'll come up with more need at some point, right?
Yeah, we're gonna need a ton. Eventually, we're not gonna need that many, like tethers, because we'll have vehicles. But if we ever, well, not
the
if we ever.
The vehicle itself serves as an oxygen supply.
Yeah. Yeah, the vehicle will just have a constant source of oxygen coming out of it, which is quite nice. The one caveat is eventually we're going to have to go to the center of a planet, at which point we absolutely want to have like a silly amount of tethers. But it's almost easier to trade for the compound instead. But maybe automation changes that.
Well, okay, so that's an interesting thing. Are there renewable ways to like get the trading stuff in the game then? Because if
yes,
you can always.
I think
okay.
There used to be. You used to be able to just convert electricity into fuel.
Okay.
And I think they took that away because it was super broken. But you could convert electricity into fuel, which you could trade for relatively high value, and that would get you all sorts of goodies. Yeah.
I see. I understand why they might take that away then. But should I just go back and harvest more compound?
Probably not. What you should look for is actually a ramp into the underground. We're going to need a lot of copper and some other things.
Okay. I suppose I probably need more tethers regardless. A ramp into the underground. So I'll just like look around and there'll be something that just like leads into the underground. And why is that better than me just digging a ramp?
Because we don't have the smoothing tool yet.
Oh. Okay.
It's honestly not that big of a deal, but...
Where is a ramp to the underground likely to be?
Everywhere. Just look for holes. Some of them will, like, super overtly just descend into open cavern down below. If there's none nearby, we can make one normally.
Will it use up resources to, like, place tethers everywhere? Tethers all over the place. I mean, like, it uses up compound, but it doesn't take... You said electricity or stuff like that. That's not, like, a thing.
It will... tethers can and will move power, but that's not really here nor there.
Yeah. I thought for sure this is a ramp into the underground, but I think I've just found somewhere you've already been.
Let's see. There should also be, like, fallen ship parts, which have pretty valuable bits and resources that we're looking for. There's a lot of stuff to explore for, at least initially.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just poking around. I found a cave in the mountain. I've discovered that fall damage is also a thing and managed to not die.
It is deadly. So I think I found a cave into the underground right where I am. Problem being, it is a direct drop. Ooh, hey. That's what luck. I found a big old solar panel.
Oh. All the electricity we'd ever want?
No, but
it
like the big solar panels
nighttime?
are kind of hard to come across. Yeah.
Is that just a perpetual thing?
No, so there's a day-night cycle. It'll always still be kind of night-ish. But there's a definitive like day-night cycle, and I'm definitely on the dawn side of this planet.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's neat. The planet is small enough just to like have that.
Yep. Yeah, so where you are, you're probably just hitting dawn, where I can see the sun by this point. It's a cool system. The solar panel that I'm holding really wants to start generating power. It's freaking out here. Oh, the research samples that you can immediately use respawn endlessly. You just need to not destroy the thing that they're spawning out of. That's really helpful, actually.
So, there's some item that we can destroy by mining it up, or... How do we avoid breaking it is what I want to know. Okay, yeah, no, this red plant thing, I like walk towards it, and it hits me backwards, and I take damage. So, just saying, that totally did happen, and I did not imagine it.
Okay.
But you're also saying it's a research thing, and like...
Maybe it's a different red chili pepper thing.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a research thing on it. It just hurts me. I see. So if I have this like, there's like a rock that like a pick-upable research item came off of. Doesn't look like a remarkable rock. That should keep spawning these things. Well, I guess there's another one that looks just like it that does the same thing. Oh, look at that. Okay, I found... I know what this thing is before I mined a whole unit of it. Earlier, I put it over stuff and it told me pretty quickly. Oh well, I'll have a full one soon enough. I'm sure it's one of those common resources you mentioned. Oh, malachite.
Yep. I think we need that.
It's probably a thing.
I want to say malachite is how we get copper.
That would make some sense. I saw something that said something like copper a moment ago.
Yeah, if you hover over it, it'll say what it refines into.
I see.
We'll have to make a
I'm
refinery, but that
suffocating.
won't take too long.
Oh, I'm like way far from where I'm supposed to be.
That's
I
okay.
am totally dying down here.
Oh, that's less okay.
Oh, I fell into the mountain before dying. It's okay. I should have extended that tether line. I don't know why I didn't do that.
By the way, to extend the tether line in a more convenient fashion, press T.
Yeah, I was doing that.
Okay.
I just got low on tether lines. It was like, there's like a famous rock climber who's known for like running out gear. And I wish I remembered her name right now, because boy was it that sort of moment. I'll go find my body. It's near the malachite, which I need to go back and mine anyways.
Okay. Close. Spaceship part. Do you have anything useful in here? You have trees growing through you. That doesn't make any sense. Ooh, it's got glass. And camera problems. Sphalerite, some copper. What is in my backpack? Oh, it's Q to pull out your backpack quick, by the way.
Yeah, I got that one. Well, I have not yet found my body, but I did manage to find a bunch of research items.
Yeah, it's just as useful.
Just as useful as all that malachite.
I mean, we'll find more.
Yeah. I think I need to be not so distractible. That's probably one of my biggest pitfalls in this game is going to be distractibility.
Let's see.
How long does your stuff stick around? Is it just permanent? You just got to go find it?
You know, I don't necessarily know. Oh, wow. Yeah, there you died.
Oh, you found it?
Not necessarily, but I do have a marker for where your dead body is.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I can follow your line. I've got a fair bit of tethers, too.
I just made some more. I mean, there's a bunch of compound back at base now, so...
Did you die underground or up on the mountain?
I died on top of the mountain a little bit away from the malachite as I was trying to find...
No, that makes it
find my
easy.
way.
If you're underground, then it's not worth my time. If you're above ground, then I can get to you real quick.
Well, okay, so caveat. As I died, I watched the character fall underground. Does that doesn't mean that the stuff got trapped underground, right? It was kind of an odd sequence. It's fine. I mean, it just has malachite in it, so
Yeah.
I'm sure
Let's see.
I can find it if you don't find it. Although I'm really curious, do I need to like bring up my draw distance or something like that?
It might be an option to turn these on. Alternatively, it could be its own issue. I remember. Oh. I remember speaking with the other players that I was playing with. Grab that seed.
Oh.
Let's see. Where did you die? Oh, actually, you died right here. I'm quite honestly standing on your corpse.
That's it. Can you just loot all of it?
Yep. You can use shift click to move it over real quick. There you go. Now you don't have to worry about running out of oxygen.
As I stand here looting my body, I've run out of oxygen. That would have been a good moment.
It's a never-ending loop. Oh man, I can't wait till we get the smoothing tool. We can take down some of these jags.
So did you like mine out those plants? Is that what happened?
Yeah. Yeah, they'll just pop out of existence. Let's see.
I see.
By the way, for
that's
the
where that
little,
seed came from.
Yep. The little research things that you keep finding, you can actually pop them into the research machines. They'll give you, I think it's like 2 to 3 times as much research as you would normally get from them, which is worth it if we don't have any of the other big things. But if we don't have any of the other big things, then it's
Is
not
the
as
research
important.
machine something back at base, or is that through the tab menu? Okay.
Yeah, when you come back to base, there should be 2 spinny things on the biggest platforms. They're the largest machines that we have. Let's see.
Okay. But if I find something that's like a research item that's compatible with research chamber, but there's like a rock that's also giving research items, I shouldn't touch the rock, right? I mean, like...
Yeah, don't touch the rock itself.
what's the thing? Because there's like the one rock that has the research items that spawn off of it, but then there's like another research item rock under it. Which is the thing giving us research item points?
If there's an ambiguity, just take the little bits and ignore the rest.
Okay,
we'll have plenty
good.
of research. I mean, it's probably not that important, but...
Well, what is generally the scarcest resource in the game? Because you described that like we often need enough resin. It can be like hard. Is that the main thing?
At this point, I think we've got enough resin for a while. Resin and compound are incredibly valuable early on, so you can get access to more of the environment. But after that point, honestly, I think zinc is one of the hardest to get.
Okay.
Because zinc is used for batteries.
Zinc.
And we need a lot of batteries.
Why zinc?
Is it zinc or is it lithium? It's lithium. I'm getting them confused.
Oh, okay, I was thinking lithium would be a much more natural choice. I just watched a bowler go cascading by. Would have that hurt me?
Yes.
Okay. Good to know. I'm creating an unstable top to this mountain, too. Some real rock slide and avalanche dangers here.
What do we need for the refinery?
Oh yeah, you can see some of the rocks are definitely just like boulder traps.
Oh, they added a lot of platforms to this.
So platforms
Smelting furnace.
are like just different things we can add to the base that just like each have their own function.
Yep. Let's see. So platforms just hold the various structures. That's all. Let's see. There we go. By the way, chat, you guys want to tell me what's the thing that we need specifically to start like building the environment back up? Because I don't remember what that is. Or, oh, no, you know what it is? I think we actually just need a, is it a small canister? Maybe that's it. Whoops. Didn't mean to grab this. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I just need a canister. Okay. By the way, Nathan, make a canister when you get the chance and put it on your gun.
Oh, okay. Does it carry more stuff or something?
A canister specifically will let you gather soil, which you can then use to rebuild the environment and smooth it out and stuff. I totally forgot about what I needed.
That's good to know.
Yep. Also, thank you, Stump for the raid. I was Last of Us? Sorry, that is the one interruption I will always do. 'Cause my friend showed up. But yeah, we're playing Astroneer. They did an automation update, and I figured I'd check it out. And then I needed something to play with my brother, so it was like, oh, well, this is super convenient. Oh, these lack
Let's
of
see.
power.
You said small canister? Was that the thing?
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, so you might want to make like one or two of them and then have them hooked onto your gun. But so when you mine now, it'll specifically have like a blue ring around it, and that is how much just raw soil you have sitting around in
see.
those
So
canisters.
It'll take one of the slots on my gun, which means I can't carry quite as much material, but it's only, I guess, one slot on that, and it can carry all the soil in there.
Yep, and so we can use this to smooth out the area around our base so it's not nearly as messy.
But I am an agent of chaos. I have to keep my reputation, right? Just remember, based off of principles of entropy, it is always easier to create chaos than to remove it.